Hey guys, I hope everyone had a great Monday. I pray everyone is doing well, staying healthy. I hope you got outside yesterday and enjoyed some nice weather. I hear some rain's coming, so maybe get outside early today. Just want to compliment all of you on doing such a good job. Those that have been turning in your work, keep it up. Keep up the great work. I look over that work every single day, and you guys are all doing an exceptional job. So keep up all that hard work. Also, I encourage you to continue to watch these videos every day, and also please watch join us for those Zoom meetings. Especially this morning, I'm going to be doing a lot of going over some new concepts. We're getting into some more harder concepts that are going to it's going to be very valuable to jump on, especially that morning video. I'll be doing more of the teaching during that time with regards to that. So if you're available, please jump on at 10 o'clock, especially this morning, as there's some new topics that we're going to be doing for almost a lot of the grades, first, second graders, and some third graders, and some fourth grade stuff. So let's get into the work. Social studies. You have social studies I gave out yesterday. You're making a map. I'm making a map of one of the floors of your house. So that's if you have a multi-level house. If you only have one single level house, then just make a map of your entire house. Tell me what room is what where your bedroom is, where a hallway is, bathroom, parents' bedroom. Maybe if you have siblings, another bedroom. Maybe you have a guest bedroom or an office. Make sure you make a map of that whole thing and then label it, please. Label it nice and clearly. This isn't due till Wednesday, so you got 2 days. It's not due till the end of Wednesday. You don't have to do it tomorrow if you have other stuff that you need to get through. But I'd like it to have it by sometime on Wednesday. All right. For spelling, you're on the second page of Unit 29. By the end of the day today, I'll have all the word lists up on the Spelling City app. So please make sure you are working on that and getting ready for your test, as we'll be taking that again on Friday this week. All right. All right. For math, kindergartners, let's get into yours. Kindergarten for your math today. On the first page, you have a bunch of numbers from 1 all the way up to 30. And once you get to that number 30, what you're going to have to do is have an adult or mom read what color you need to get out, and they'll tell you what color number you should color in that certain color. All right, so you got to listen very carefully. Make sure you find those numbers and figure out which one it goes with, okay? And then on the back side, you have a little dot to dot again, going up to number 20. Draw those lines nice and neat. You've been doing a really, really good job with that. Keep it up. And then when you're all done, color it for me. The final thing you have for math today is I want you to have mom videotape yourself, and I want to see how high can you count starting at 1. See if you can get all the way up to 30. That'd be awesome if you can do that, okay? So that's your goal. For your super kids, you and I will go over, we're starting a new letter today, the letter N, like nickel. So we'll be going over that today in our afternoon Zoom class, and I'll be taking a look at our new Super Kids book that we are going to be going through then. All right? All right, we'll see you at 2 o'clock today, Lauren. All right, first graders, for your math, you have 3 pages, and today your new concept deals with the greater than, less than, or equals sign. If I gave you 2 numbers, and I asked you which number is bigger, 3 or 2? Well, of course, the 3 is bigger. So you would write in the circle sign a sign that looks like a little bit like a mouth. Remember, I would always, sometimes when I do this, I'd draw it and I'd make it look like Pac-Man, because the Pac-Man always wants to eat the bigger number because he's really, really hungry. So if I did that again, if I said 7 and 5, which number is bigger, the 7 or the 5? Ooh, the 7 is. So I put the sign with the mouth open towards that 7. But what happens if the numbers are the same? So let's say you get to the number and you have the number 6 and the number 6. Then you write a sign called an equal sign. Okay? And that's just 2 lines like that. That means they are the same. Okay, so on the first page is just a bunch of fact problems that you're going to be working on. But on the middle page of your sheet, on the lesson worksheet 108A, you have to color the boxes of the number that's underneath it. So like the first box row has 2 and 2. So you color 2 boxes and 2 boxes, and then either have the mouth eat the bigger number, or if they're the same, write the equal sign. On the back of that sheet, they already color them. You got to count up how many boxes are colored, write the number, and then in that little circle, write the mouth eating the bigger number. All right? On your assignment, your guided practice assignment, you're writing the number 98 4 more times on the top. Count how many digits there are and write that on the line. Number 2, you got to tell me it deals with 20. It says Gian has 26 pennies, and she groups them in groups of 10. So you got to draw 2 groups of 10, 2 big circles, put 10 X's in there, and then 6 X's on the outside because those are left over. And then her friend gave her 10 more. And we want to figure out how many does she have now. So our number sentence, we started with how many? 26 pennies. And we're adding 10 more. So you're going to write 26 plus 10 equals. And then how are we going to solve that? Well, we're going to only go 1 up from the 2. So what's 1 more than 2? 3. And we keep the 6 the same. So 26 plus 10 is 36. So you write that on your answer line. Number 3, got to figure out what number goes in between those two, between the 48 and 56, and circle it. Number 4 is just like the worksheet we were working on, that newer concept with greater than, less than, or equals. And then number 5, you're just adding straight down with those math problems there. The only thing that's different on the back side of that sheet is that on number 1, you got to choose any number between 46 and 52 to write in that box. Now, there's a bunch of numbers that you could put there. So there's not just one correct answer. So you can pick one of them and write that on the line. Otherwise, everything else should be pretty self-explanatory, and just exactly like the front side, except it's just some newer numbers there. Okay? For phonics, you're finishing up our look on the long I sound on page 83 and 84. On page 83, make sure you write 3 good sentences there at the bottom. And for the top part, look at that story back on page 182 to help you answer those yes/no questions. On page 184, you need to fill in the bubble next to the correct word. That goes with the picture. Then the other 2 pages, 185 and 186, you have to work with the long O sound. The long O sound. On the first one, you have to find the 3 word pictures that have the O sound, like note. There's 3 in each line there. And on the back side, if it has the ah, circle just the O. If it has the O, circle the O with the line on top of it. And for each one of those pictures. So say the picture. If you hear the ah, circle the O. If you hear the O sound, circle the O with the line on top of it. That makes it a long O there. For your language today, I sent home a worksheet that needs to be looked at and done with regards to the end punctuation. So you have to look at the sentence and decide if it's a question, you end it with a question mark. If it's a period, just a period at the bottom. And if it's an exclamation, something, a sentence that shows a lot of excitement, like, wow, there's no school tomorrow, then it's a line with a dot, which is the exclamation point. So please make sure that you are filling out those correct punctuations there for that part, okay? I think that should be about it for first graders. Again, if you have questions, make sure you call me, okay? On to second grade. Second grade, your math today, you're going to be taking a look at telling time to the nearest minute. Now we know that there's how many minutes in an hour? There are 60 minutes in an hour. Remember, we've been learning how to count. We counted by 5s. 5, the 1 is 5, 10, 20, 30, 40. Oops, I'm counting by 10s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then 60, which goes back to 00, right? So what you have to do, if you look at the sheet that says 106 lesson worksheet on the top part, and it says, what time is that? Well, the first thing you're always going to look at is the little hand. Well, on that one, the little hand's between the 4 and the 5. Well, remember, we always go back and we use the smaller number, so it's 4. So we put the 4 in front of the 2 dots on in the box below it. Then let's count by the big hands between the 3 and the 2. So we always go to the 2 and count by 5s. So we start at the 12. 1 is 5, 2 is 10. And then right after the 10, we start counting up by 1s on those little dashes. So we have 10, 11, 12, 13. So the time should be 4, and then behind the dot, 13. All right, let's try one more, the middle one. The little hand first, that's between what 2 numbers? The 1 and the 2. So of course we use the 1, remember, because we always use the smaller one. So that goes in front of the dots in our box. And then we got to count, it's between the 9 and the 10 is the big hand. So we're going to count by 5s 9 times. Okay? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And then we start at the 9 and count 46, 47, 48, 49. So the time there is 1 goes in front and behind the dots, 49. Okay, you can do the rest of those on your own. At the bottom part, you got to actually write the numbers in or the lines in. We're going to be working on this the next couple of days, so be careful with those. If you have questions, I'm going to be going over that a whole lot, probably in our Zoom meeting tomorrow. All right. Then on number 1 on your guided practice, you need to put the peanuts in, or he's putting peanuts in groups of 10, and he has 4 groups. Okay, so he has 4 groups, 10, 10, 10, 10. So you're going to draw that up there. You can use X's. You don't have to draw the peanuts, but you can draw X's in each group. Have 10 of them. And what kind of number sentence would that be? Are we doing adding, subtracting, or multiplying? We're multiplying, so it should be 4 times 10, and then tell me how many that would be. Number 2 on your problem deals with telling time, so make sure you figure that one out, just like we were doing on the other ones. Number 3, you got to draw a line of symmetry. Draw a line somewhere on that shape so that both sides are exactly the same, and then only color 1/2 of that shape. Number 4 is a little bit different too. You got to finish the pattern on the top and the bottom. The top one's pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, they're just counting by ones, but the bottom part's a little bit trickier. 4, 8, 12. Can you tell what they're counting up by? They're counting up by 4. So you got to keep adding 4 more and writing that number in. And then at the very end, whatever number is at the very underneath the 10 on the bottom, that's what number you write on the line there. Okay? Then number 5 is just working with a bunch of review multiplying and adding and subtracting. Make sure you write that subtracting problem out correctly and make sure you borrow all that good stuff. You guys have been doing a lot better job with all of that stuff, so keep up the good work. The backside is exactly the same types of concepts. Just make sure you read them carefully because they're just different numbers and whatnot. If you do have a question, though, please call me. With regards to your language, second graders, your language today, you're going to be talking about how to write an invitation. It's very important that when you write an invitation, you give out all the proper information about that invitation. So they give you an example on page 186 in the yellow box about a party that someone's having. You have to use that invitation to answer the questions down there on 1 through 5. Pretty simple. Then when you're done, you're going to flip it over, and on page 187, you have a blue box there that you're going to have to recopy on the back side of your paper and fill in those blanks using the words up at the top to fill in those spaces. So you have King's Roller Palace, you have Sue, and you have the skating party, okay? So you're going to have to really make sure you fill in those blanks. You can fill in some of those things you can just make up. So like the date, you can make that up. The time, from what time to what time do you want to make that up? You know where the place is? Signed, that's who's writing the invitation. Well, if you're writing the invitation, you should write your own name there where it says signed by, okay? So that's what you're going to be doing on that page for your language, working on writing the invitation. Make sure you write it nice and neatly. Then for your phonics today, on the first 2 pages are dealing with compound words. We worked with those last week. Remember, like foot and ball, we get football. Or if we took bath and tub, we put them together, we get bathtub. Or if we do note and book, we put those together, notebook. What you need to do is write the word that goes with the correct picture for 165. And then 166, you got to first match up the compound words and then use those words to finish the sentence down below. Not too hard. Then on page 167 and 168, we're dealing with syllables. That's how many beats a word has. So if I said Holman, that's 2. If I said Darius, that's 3. If I said Lexi, that's 2. Caden, that's 2. What if I said ball? Oh, that's just 1. So what you have to do is for page 167, you're going to say the word, and if it's either going to be 1 syllable or 2 syllables. If it's 1, write the number 1 on the line. If it's 2 syllables, write the number 2. So baby, that's 2. Window, 2. Rake, that's just 1. So that's what you do on that page. And then on the back side, you're doing the exact same thing. You say the word, how many syllables is it, and write that number on the line. Okay? All right. Have a good day with that, second graders. And again, just like I said to the first graders, if you have questions, call me, text me, and I will help you as best as I can, okay? Third graders, today you're going to be working more with compatible numbers. Remember yesterday we were estimating a little bit to figure out what number is the best. Well, today you're going to do that, except you're going to use the closest number. So that would make it a little bit easier, and without going all the way to the nearest 10 or nearest 100. So if I said I had 4 boards, and each board cost $24, and I wanted to know about how much money would that be. Okay, so I have 4 boards and $24. Well, 24 is about $25, right? And what do we know from our quarters? If we have 4 quarters, that would make 100 pennies, right? So if we had $25, which is the same as quarters, except for dollars, 4 of them, we would just say 4 times 25. Well, we know that already because that would be about $100, right? So I rounded it to a number that I thought would make it a little bit easier for me to figure out that problem. Remember, we only use those compatible numbers if you see in the problem, use compatible numbers, or if it says about how many. Okay, so be careful there. Let's take a look at your assignment today. The first 2 are just a couple word problems. Shouldn't be too hard there. Number 3, estimate. So you got to estimate the product. So you're going to round 82 to the nearest 10 and then multiply it by 4. That's what we did yesterday. Number 4, you just got to write it out. If there's 1 mile is that many feet, how many would there be for 2 miles? Not too hard. And then number 5, you might have to go back to our section on, I think it's lesson 87, to figure out that rhyme. Go back to the directions there to figure out what goes in those blanks. Number 6, you're doing a little division problem. So we had 60 books on 5 shelves. How many would there be? So what times 5 gives us 60? And then number 7, tell me which one is it closer to? 8. Now this is kind of what we were talking about. You have $23, and there was she bought tickets to a concert. She paid $23 a ticket. Ones if she bought 5. So 23, just like we just did on my board. About how many is that? It's about $25. So you're going to do 25 times 5 to figure that one answer out. I think everything else on this should be pretty normal, should be pretty easy. Number 11, A and B, you got to tell me what place value. So it's either tens, hundreds, thousands, 1,000, or 10,000s, something along those lines. All right, I think everything else, don't forget when if there's parentheses, always multiply the parentheses first and then do the subtraction. Parentheses always go first. But I think everything else should be fairly easy. So I think you guys should be able to handle it. All right, 4th graders, with your math, you guys also have a test with Mr. Wasser. And then 3rd and 4th graders, today what we're going to be taking a look at in your language is the thing called simple subject. Well, we did subject and predicate at the very, very, very beginning, like the first week of school. Remember, subject always tells us who the sentence is about. So if I said, Kathy ate the taco, you would say, who is the sentence about? It's about Kathy. And what did she do? She ate the taco. So that's the predicate, is the action part. What you're going to do is take it, sometimes there's more than one word. So the 8 puppies ran around the beach. So what's that sentence about? The 8 puppies. Now, what's the noun in that sentence? The 8 or puppies. Some people might say 8, but it's not, because that's an adjective. It tells us how many puppies. That's actually an adjective. So the simple subject, that noun in that sentence, is puppies. So really, when you read your sentences, you're going to be taking a look at what is the smallest noun in that subject that makes that you can find. So like, look at the guided practice. The shoreline has changed over the years. They split it already. They put the line right between the subject and the predicate there. So what's the simple subject? Well, we know the subject is the shoreline. No, it's shoreline. So your simple subject is shoreline for number 1. How about number 2? Our neighbor's cottage was close to the water. Well, our neighbor's cottage is the subject. What's the simple subject? That sentence is about the cottage. So cottage would be it. How about number 3? A storm blew mighty waves against the cliff. Subject is a storm, and the simple subject is just storm. So when we do simple subject, it's just one word. One word, okay? And it's that noun of the subject. Well, look at number 4. It. It washed away tons of sand and rock. Well, the subject of that sentence is it. So the simple subject is also it. It's only one word, so that one makes it easy. Last one, number 5. High tides carried off some of the neighbor's yard. High tides is the subject. So what's the simple subject? Just tides. All right, so that's what you're going to be doing for 6 through 12. They already split the sentence between the subject and the predicate. You just need to go and tell me what's the simple subject. Remember, subject is usually, from all of these, the subject is the first part of the section of the sentence. All right. Then for 13 through 19, they give you a choice of 2 words, 2 simple subjects that could best finish the sentence. Write the word. Again, not too hard. And then for the bottom part, part C, 20 through 24, they give you a bunch of simple subjects. You got to write them in the blanks. No writing the sentences today. Just writing in the missing words or writing me the simple subject for each one of those. Okay? All right, I think that should be about it for today. I hope, like I said at the beginning of this video, I hope a lot of you join us for our morning Zoom meeting at 10 a.m. this morning. Like I said, there's a lot of new concepts, especially with math, with regards to especially first, second, and third graders. So please, if you're available, jump on for that. Otherwise, keep working hard and enjoy your Tuesday. And I'll hopefully see you guys later on today. Have a good one. Bye.